You think you know which pizza chains you can trust? You don't. Behind the logos and coupons, some of America's biggest names are cutting corners in ways most people never see. Today, I'm pulling the receipts. 8 chains under the microscope, and what I found will change how you order forever. Let's start with the obvious one, Chuck E. Cheese. And I know what you're thinking. Who's actually ordering Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza? But people do. Whether it's nostalgia, convenience, or birthday party desperation, Chuck E. Cheese still moves a lot of pizza. And every single slice is a tragedy. Chuck E. Cheese pizza is what happens when a company forgets they're supposed to serve food. This isn't a restaurant with games. It's an entertainment company that's legally required to serve food. And that shows in every disappointing bite. The cheese alone should disqualify them from calling it pizza. It's industrial-grade mozzarella substitute that never melts right. It just sits there in a rubbery beige layer that peels off in sheets. Reviews call it flavorless, plastic-like, and somehow both greasy and dry. That's not easy to achieve, but Chuck E. Cheese pulls it off every time. Their obsession with rock-bottom prices creates a domino effect. Suppliers cut corners, franchises skip maintenance. Food sits around far too long. One manager even admitted they used meat that had been frozen and thawed multiple times. That's not quality control, that's roulette with ground beef. Toppings are sparse, cheap, and often temperature inconsistent. You'll bite into a slice where the cheese is lukewarm, but the pepperoni is cold. Vegetables are the lowest grade frozen kind. Tasteless peppers, slimy mushrooms, onions that have given up on life. And the crust is the real crime. Taste tests and consumer reports describe it as cardboard-like, which is generous. Dense, heavy, flavorless, no char, no crispness, no chew. Just bland dough that barely holds the toppings and still manages to fail at that. In national taste tests, Chuck E. Cheese ranked dead last. One reviewer said, "This pizza is more suitable as a plate than as food." Another placed it in the bottom 3 for having no flavor in any component. One person wrote, "It tastes like they're trying to make it bad." Another said, "A $3 frozen pizza is better than this $18 disaster." Even kids often refuse to eat it. When a sugar-charged 6-year-old turns down pizza, something is very wrong. If you're trapped at a party, fine. But never order it voluntarily. Your taste buds and your wallet deserve better. CC's Pizza runs on a simple business model. Charge $6 or $7 for unlimited pizza, and hope customers are too distracted by volume to notice how terrible it is. But they notice. The buffet sounds appealing in theory, but when profitability depends on serving the cheapest food possible, you get the cheapest food possible. And cheap ingredients make terrible pizza. The sauce is the first red flag. It tastes like watered-down ketchup with artificial sweetness. No herbs, no richness, no real tomato flavor. Reviews call it flavorless, like tomato water, and sweet in the worst way. The cheese is just as bad, more like processed slices than mozzarella. Glossy when melted, rubbery and nearly tasteless. One critic nailed it, cheese-flavored plastic. The buffet model is the real killer. Nothing is ever fresh. Pizzas sit under heat lamps until the crust goes soggy or dries out. The cheese congeals, and the toppings wilt. You're not eating fresh pizza, you're eating pizza in decline. The crust swings between doughy and cracker dry, with no technique behind it. Taste tests back it up. One major food website ranked CC's 8th out of 9 chains, noting that quantity can't make up for lack of quality. Consumer ratings hover around 2.3 stars. People defend it because it's cheap and unlimited. But unlimited bad food isn't a good deal. For a bit more money, you could buy a decent pizza that actually tastes like pizza. And piling on toppings doesn't help. You're just adding more bad ingredients to a bad base. Real customer reviews say it best, pizza made by someone who only heard what pizza should taste like, somehow both flavorless and sad. CC's built their business on the assumption that Americans will eat anything if it's unlimited and cheap. They're mostly right, but that doesn't make it okay. Your time and stomach space are worth more than this. Papa Murphy's sits in a strange corner of the pizza world. the take and bake model, where you pay full price for an unbaked pizza you have to finish at home. It sounds fresh and innovative. In reality, you're doing half the work for worse results. The core flaw is simple. Their entire pitch is fresh pizza you bake yourself. But your home oven tops out at around 450 degrees. A real pizza oven runs between 550 and 900. That temperature gap is the difference between mediocre and genuinely good pizza, and no amount of fresh ingredients can overcome that. The crust exposes the problem immediately. It's engineered to survive low-temperature home ovens, so it's thick, doughy, and notoriously uneven. Even when you follow their instructions perfectly, the center often stays undercooked while the edges overcook. Reviews are full of complaints about raw middles, burnt edges, or both. One Consumer Reports reviewer summed it up: "It's not my oven, it's their dough." Another called it an open-faced pizza sandwich. The ingredients don't live up to the freshness marketing either. Customers report limp peppers, slimy mushrooms, tired onions, and cheese that either separates or turns greasy. The meats don't help. The pepperoni is bland and pre-cooked, the sausage dries out, and the Canadian bacon tastes like deli slices. Professional taste tests echo this. Papa Murphy's talks freshness, but delivers inconsistent baking and disappointing texture. Consumer Reports gave it below-average marks for those exact issues. Then there's the value problem. A large Papa Murphy's pizza costs about the same as a cooked pizza from Papa John's or Pizza Hut. Except with Papa Murphy's, you have to pick it up, preheat your oven, bake it for half an hour, monitor it like a science experiment, and clean up when cheese drips everywhere. You're paying to be your own underpaid pizza cook, and the results still fall short. The sauce is bland and overly sweet. The crust seasoning tries to compensate but can't, and customer feedback is brutally consistent. Doughy centers, uneven cooking, disappointing flavor, and people swearing off the concept after 2 or 3 tries. One reviewer nailed it: "You know your pizza is bad when people do the work themselves and it still comes out poorly." The truth is simple. Papa Murphy's could justify the take and bake idea if the ingredients or results were exceptional. They aren't. You get chain-level ingredients baked in suboptimal conditions, which means you end up with the worst of both worlds: convenience food that isn't convenient and homemade food that isn't good. If you want homemade pizza, make it from scratch with quality ingredients. If you want convenience, order from a chain that actually knows how to cook their product. Papa Murphy's is the worst of both worlds. We just exposed 3 pizza chains that are basically stealing your money while serving you glorified cardboard. But here's what's crazy. Millions of Americans order from these places every single week, completely unaware they're getting ripped off. If you're realizing you've been one of those people, don't worry, you're not alone. I used to order from 2 of these chains regularly until I discovered what I'm about to show you. The next 2 chains on our avoid list, they're even worse. And the 3 I recommend at the end, they'll restore your faith in delivery pizza. But first, if this is already saving you from terrible pizza decisions, smash that subscribe button and share this video with someone who needs to see it. Because what's coming next will completely change how you think about chain pizza forever. Let's keep going. Domino's is the chain everyone has an opinion about. And yes, they've improved since their rock-bottom era in the late 2000s. But they're still serving pizza built for efficiency, not quality. Their famous 2009 apology campaign proved the point. They admitted the pizza was bad, changed some recipes, tweaked the crust, added new ingredients. But the business model never changed. Fast, cheap, and efficient will never equal great pizza. The biggest issue is that unmistakably artificial flavor profile. The cheese has that glossy processed sheen because it's an industrial mozzarella blend built for consistency, not taste. The sauce is oversweetened with no herb depth, more corn syrup than tomato. Consumer Reports ranked Domino's 7th out of 10 chains, calling out the processed taste. Another blind taste test placed them in the bottom third for the same reason. The toppings don't help. The pepperoni is paper-thin and greasy. The vegetables taste frozen, not fresh. The mushrooms are watery. The onions have no sharpness, and the sausage is that pre-cooked crumble with no texture. Even the cup and char pepperoni is just a marketing distraction layered on top of low-quality meat. The crust options sound good on paper, but fall apart in practice. The hand-tossed is thick and bland. The thin crust cracks like a saltine, and the pan crust is heavy and greasy. There's no char, no nuance, nothing resembling real craftsmanship. Domino's biggest problem, though, is inconsistency. You might get an okay pizza one night, and a disaster the next because the system rewards speed over care. Employees are timed, the process is rushed, and quality control depends entirely on who's working that shift. Customer reviews say it all. Burnt one week, undercooked the next, missing toppings the one after that. Then there's the pricing illusion. The constant deals make you feel like you're saving money, but a cheap pizza isn't a good pizza. You're paying for delivery infrastructure, promos, and tech, not quality ingredients. And Domino's tech is impressive. The tracker, the delivery systems, the apps, they've perfected logistics. But none of it improves the flavor. You can track your pizza second by second, but it still tastes like processed food product. Critics say it plainly. Domino's is great at delivering pizza, but not at making pizza worth delivering. Customer ratings back it up. High marks for convenience and speed, low marks for taste and quality. The company puts money into robots, drones, and AI ordering while ignoring the core issue. The pizza itself is still mediocre. With artificial flavors, processed ingredients, and wildly inconsistent quality, there are better options at the same price point. Use your money to support chains that care about food, not just delivery tech. Sbarro is the pizza chain that became a punchline, and for good reason. They built an empire on being everywhere, malls, airports, food courts. But being everywhere doesn't mean being good. In Sbarro's case, it means being consistently terrible. Their entire model is built on pre-made pizzas that sit under heat lamps for hours. Not minutes, hours. Nothing is made to order. You're getting slices that were cooked long before you arrived, dried out, reheated, and served with a straight face. And the results are exactly what you'd expect. Soggy, stale, limp, and lifeless. That soggy crust is their trademark. Moisture from the toppings seeps into the dough while the edges dry into hard, leathery borders. The middle collapses, the edges crumble, and there's no structural integrity. It's a slice you can't fold because it just gives up on itself. The cheese is low-moisture mozzarella, chosen specifically because it survives under heat lamps, which means it tastes rubbery, squeaky, and oddly plastic. Reviews compare it to chewing on a cheese-flavored eraser. The sauce is no better. Sweet, bland, industrial tomato paste, with 0 herb notes and 0 tomato character. And the irony is painful. Sbarro is headquartered in New York, the pizza capital of America. Yet it consistently ranks among the worst pizza in the country. In a famous Worst Pizza in New York taste test, they finished dead last. The reviewer summed it up perfectly. Aggressively mediocre, somehow greasy and dry at the same time. Consumer ratings tell the same story, near bottom rankings. Hundreds of reviews complaining about stale slices, terrible crust, and pizza that is simply not worth the price. The pepperoni deserves dishonorable mention. Hard, greasy cups of orange oil that soak straight into the already soggy crust. And speaking of price, a single slice and drink often costs $7 to $9. That's almost the price of an entire fresh pizza from a better chain. Sbarro charges a convenience premium for pizza that isn't even convenient. It's what happens when you're trapped in a mall or airport and they know it. Travelers routinely say they'd rather skip eating than buy Sbarro. When hunger loses a fight to your food, that says everything. Customer quotes are brutal. This pizza made me understand why people think Americans have no food culture. Another. They reheated my slice 3 times and it never got hot. I threw it away. Critics aren't kinder. One called Sbarro proof that success and quality are completely unrelated. Another noted, they exist only because of location, not because anyone actually wants the food. Worst of all, Sbarro has normalized bad pizza. For millions of Americans, mall pizza means barely edible, and Sbarro is the reason why. The only defensible reason to eat Sbarro is absolute starvation with no alternatives. And even then, waiting might be the better choice. Now for the good news, there are actually chain pizza places doing things right, using quality ingredients and delivering pizza worth your money. These 3 chains consistently rank higher in consumer surveys, taste tests, and professional reviews. If you're ordering chain pizza, these are the places that deserve your business. I can already hear the skeptics, but the data doesn't lie. Papa John's consistently outperforms most major chains in blind taste tests, and there are clear reasons why. Better ingredients, better pizza, may be a slogan, but there's real substance behind it. Their sauce is made from fresh packed tomatoes with no added water or fillers, and it shows. You get real tomato flavor, proper seasoning with basil and oregano, and that bright acidity good pizza sauce needs. Compared to Domino's sugary sauce or Pizza Hut's bland paste, the difference is obvious. The cheese is genuinely better, too. Papa John's uses real mozzarella, not the processed cheese blends competitors rely on. It melts cleanly, browns properly, and actually tastes like mozzarella. Taste tests routinely point out their cheese as noticeably superior. Consumer Reports ranked Papa John's in the top 3 of major chains, praising the fresh-tasting ingredients and balanced flavors. A major blind taste test placed them first among national delivery chains for the same reasons. The crust isn't trying to be fancy, but it's consistent. It has real flavor from fermentation, a proper chew, and solid bake quality. It works as part of the pizza, rather than a bland delivery platform. And then come the extras: the garlic dipping sauce and the pepperoncini. That garlic sauce is iconic for a reason. It boosts even an average slice with real garlic flavor and buttery richness. The pepperoncini adds acidity and contrast that lifts the whole meal. Small touches, but they matter. Across the board, the ingredients taste fresher. The vegetables actually have flavor and texture. The pepperoni has real spice. The sausage has proper seasoning. These sound basic, but most chains don't pull them off consistently. Customer loyalty numbers reflect this. Papa John's has stronger repeat customer rates than most competitors and scores significantly higher than Domino's and Pizza Hut on food quality metrics. Pricing is competitive. You'll pay slightly more than Domino's coupon specials, but you're getting better ingredients and more consistent results. A large specialty pizza at $15 to $18 is reasonable for the quality, and online coupons help without forcing a race to the bottom. Are they perfect? No. There's still some variation from one location to another, and they won't beat a great local pizzeria. But among national delivery chains, Papa John's delivers fresher ingredients, better balance, and a more satisfying overall experience. Blaze Pizza represents the evolution of chain pizza, a break from decades of mediocrity and a blueprint for how fast casual pizza should be done. They're part of the wave that reshaped restaurants, and they've executed the model extremely well. The concept is simple. Walk in, pick your crust, move down the line, choosing fresh toppings, sauces, and cheeses. Basically, Chipotle for pizza. Your pizza is assembled in front of you, then fired in an ultra-hot oven around 800 degrees. 3 minutes later, you've got a fresh, fully customized personal pizza. The crust is where Blaze stands out. It's thin, artisanal style, with proper char and leopard spotting from the high-heat oven. The dough actually has flavor from real fermentation, a slight tang, proper salt, and the chew you expect from good pizza. The texture hits the sweet spot, crisp on the outside, tender inside. Traditional chains simply can't get this with their low-temperature ovens and mass-produced dough. Toppings are high quality across the board. Fresh vegetables, not frozen. Proper pepperoni with real spice. Sausage that's seasoned and crumbled in-house. Premium options like goat cheese, gorgonzola, arugula, and roasted garlic. These are ingredients you expect from a solid independent pizzeria, not a corporate chain. Sauce options help seal the deal. Blaze offers classic red, white sauce, garlic pesto, spicy red, and olive oil. All are made with real ingredients and balanced flavors. The classic red delivers clean tomato flavor with proper herbs. The white sauce is creamy without being heavy. The pesto tastes fresh, not oily or bitter. Taste tests reflect this. a major food publication, ranked Blaze in the top 2 fast casual chains, calling out their fresh flavors and artisan-style preparation. Consumer Reports gave them high marks for customization and ingredient quality. Critics consistently note that Blaze brings legitimacy to chain pizza, even outperforming some local spots. Customers agree. Blaze averages 4+ stars across platforms, praised for fresh ingredients, excellent crust, and total customization. You're not stuck with someone else's topping combinations. You build exactly what you want. The price point, typically $9 to $12, is higher than legacy chains, but justified by the quality. When you compare that to paying $15 for a large Domino's pizza that tastes processed and artificial, Blaze starts looking like the smarter choice. Consistency is a major strength. Their model standardizes dough prep, oven temperatures, and topping portions. Whether you're in Los Angeles or Chicago, you get nearly identical quality. And the speed is unbeatable. From ordering to eating in 5 to 7 minutes, with a fresh pizza made to your exact specifications. Modi Pizza is Blaze's biggest competitor in the fast casual space, and they're genuinely neck and neck in quality. Some prefer Blaze, some prefer MOD. But what matters is that both are miles ahead of traditional chains. MOD has carved out its own identity through excellent ingredient quality and a standout sauce lineup. The model mirrors Blaze. One flat price, usually $9 to $12, for unlimited toppings. Build whatever you want, they fire it in a high-heat oven, and you're eating in about 3 minutes. Where MOD separates itself is in freshness and sauce variety. Their classic red sauce is robust, balanced, and properly seasoned, real tomato flavor with the right acidity. But MOD offers more: white garlic sauce, pesto, spicy red, and even BBQ. All of them are legitimately good, not filler options. The white sauce has real garlic richness. The pesto tastes fresh and herbaceous, and the spicy red has actual heat. The unlimited topping model is a huge value. At traditional chains, a loaded pizza turns into a 10-topping surcharge nightmare. MOD gives you mozzarella, gorgonzola, ricotta, Asiago, whatever meats you want, and unlimited vegetables for one price. No mental math, no compromise. The cheese quality stands out. Real mozzarella that melts and browns properly, plus premium cheeses that add real character. The crust is on par with Blaze. Thin, crisp, with proper char, and enough structure to support a fully loaded pie. It tastes closer to artisanal pizza than anything you'd expect from a chain. Consumer rankings consistently put MOD near the top. Taste tests routinely place them first or second among fast casual chains. Consumer Reports praise their fresh ingredients and flavor variety. Customer ratings regularly sit above 4 stars with recurring praise for quality, customization, and value. Customers also highlight the consistency. I've been to Modi in 5 different states, and it's always good. Another reviewer said it beats many local pizza spots in their area. For the price, it's one of the best value propositions in chain pizza. A fully loaded personal pizza at MOD is far cheaper than a similarly topped pizza from Domino's or Pizza Hut, and dramatically better in quality. Freshness is core to MOD's appeal. Nothing sits under heat lamps, nothing is reheated, and you watch your pizza being assembled and baked. That made-to-order consistency is why they maintain such strong satisfaction scores. Their specialty pizzas are solid too. The Caspian and Mad Dog are actually well-designed combinations, not random toppings thrown together. They show that when MOD builds a pizza for you, it still tastes intentional, and the company culture matters. MOD is known for hiring people who need second chances, creating a positive work environment that translates into better customer service and care in preparation. Happy teams make better food. You've got 5 pizza chains draining your wallet, and 3 that actually deserve your order. The bad ones cut corners and treat food like product. The good ones deliver real ingredients and real flavor. Your money is a vote. Stop rewarding chains that serve cardboard and start supporting the ones that care. Life's too short for bad pizza. Choose better.